Welcome to episode 11 of In His Bag. I will say I am rather tired, so excuse the yawns, but it's an interesting topic, so hopefully that'll keep me awake for the entirety of this recording. And let's get started. Cue the intro music in 3, 2, 1.
Tedeschi dentro sotto per Dybala, attenzione, va la gioia di Dybala. Oh God, Stokely down the sideline. Can they catch him? Stokely, wow!
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang!
Welcome to episode 11. Said that I'm a bit tired. That is true. I haven't been getting as much sleep as I would like between all the work that I'm doing, but that doesn't really matter right now because we got an interesting episode. Not a lot of news has happened. It's kind of the dead period in sports right now. But NBA season is coming to an end. Draft is quickly approaching in a couple weeks. Champions League is happening, so let's get started. First, we're going to start off with the news. And we're going to start off with the NFL. I mentioned the draft. The draft is in 2 weeks. And here are the 16 players who are going to the draft. We have David Bailey, Ruben Bain, Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Cedric Falk, Colton Hood, Makai Lemon, Jeremiah Love, Francis Maganoa, Caden McDonald, Caden Proctor, Arvell Reese, Ty Simpson, Sonny Styles, Cardinal Tate, and Jordan Tyson. Some notable names that are not on here off the top. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza, not here. He's going to be celebrating in Florida, I believe. That's one. Ione is not there either. So you don't have that. And then a couple other players who aren't there. Notably, Ty Simpson has decided to attend the draft. There's been a lot of speculation about his rise, where he's going to be taken. The entire Dan Orlovsky agenda that was pushed about him going in the first round. Now it looks like it might actually happen. But Ty Simpson is there. Other player, I don't know if some of these other players are going to be drafted the first round. I don't know if some of these other players are going to be drafted in the first round. I don't know if Colton Hood or Caden McDonald or Keldrick Falk are going to be first-round picks. Caden McDonald either. So there are some questions. Like if you see the first comment right here, it says Ty Simpson's about to get that Will Levis treatment. That is, for me, that is probably exactly what is going to happen. He's going to get snubbed. He's honestly, in my opinion, shouldn't go first round, but nevertheless, he is going to be in attendance in Pittsburgh to potentially not even hear his name called on the first night. And then it's also kind of strange that you don't have the first overall pick there. You don't have Fernando Mendoza there, but then again, that's his own personal decision, and I respect that. And then after that, we got like Ruben Bain, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. Like those guys are probably going to be in the top 4. Jeremiah Love as well, potentially. So you have all those players. They're going to be there to kind of make up for Mendoza not being there. After that, we go to the Falcons. They've decided to pick up Bijan Robinson's 5th-year option on his rookie contract. Ideally, while they're still working out a long-term deal with him because he is the present and the future of that team. He is what is going to take them farther down the line to the, so to speak, promised land of whatever that is for Atlanta football. But they needed to do this. It was the smart thing to do. Now they just got to continue to talk with him, talk with his team to see if they can work out some sort of long-term deal that is beneficial for both sides. If not, watching him leave would be a disaster. That is probably the worst thing that could happen to the Falcons, watching Bijan walk out of the door if you don't extend him. Probably worse than the Giants letting Saquon sign with the Eagles. That would be something along the lines of letting Saquon sign with the Eagles if you can't reach a contract agreement with Bijan. So, Eagles or Falcons doing the right thing, picking up this option. Now they just got to build from there. And then I mentioned Eagles. They have done something. They have traded for Dontavian Wicks, and he is signing a $12.5 million extension with the Eagles. This move has all the implications in the world around A.J. Brown. The speculation that he's going to the Patriots has been picking up some steam as of late. So it's interesting to see if anything will happen there. If they decide to finally move on from him after his problematic season, so to speak. But then again, the Eagles are also dealing with a lot of internal issues right now. There was the whole press run about Jalen Hurts and how he's not really a team player, how he was arguing with Sirianni, changing plays at the line more than he should have, how he wasn't comfortable getting in the pocket or getting under center. And there was just that whole article by, I think it was Jerry Fowler, and that was quite interesting, honestly, to read. But this move, it's for me, it's insurance in case they do decide to move on from A.J. Brown. If not, you bring him in, be that third receiver like you had Jahan Dotson last year, and just have a nasty trio of A.J., Smitty, and Wicks. But it's not crazy. And then when you look at it from the Packers' point of view, they're kind of in an interesting spot. You got Romeo Doubs signed with the Patriots. Wicks is now with the Eagles. You're putting a lot of faith in Christian Watson and his ability to stay healthy, also relying on Tucker Kraft a lot, and he's coming off of an ACL injury. So I don't know what type of weapons Matt LaFleur is going to have. Maybe he invests something in the draft. Maybe like one of those late picks, like maybe Jordan Tyson falls that far. Maybe Mekhi Lemon falls down there to the Packers. You never know. Maybe they trade up. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the Packers receiving room and their offense as a whole, because they've emptied out the receiving core. And now they're kind of down to the bare bones. But we're going to move on from that. Sorry, I warned you that I'm tired, so there are plenty of yawns throughout this episode. Moving on, the NBA. The Miami Heat have finally waived Terry Rozier. This took, in all honesty, way too long, bro. He was placed on leave in October, and he pleaded not guilty to the charges that were brought against him, but there's not really a path for him to come back right now. So I don't understand why the Heat didn't do this like 2 days before the deadline to release players on expiring contracts or with a player option next year. Like, why didn't no? The deadline was today. Why did you wait until the deadline to do that? You could have done that a while ago, brought in a player, let him get acclimated to the system, and then just gone into the play-in with this player having some level of familiarity with the roster. But no, you decide to put Terry, just keep him on the roster and have him just take up a roster spot for no reason. Pat Riley, what was the point of that? Was there any real reason why you felt that was necessary? I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't make sense to me, but yeah. And context for those of you who don't know, Terry Rozier, kind of like Jonte Porter, was arrested for, well, Jonte Porter wasn't arrested, but Rozier was arrested for a illegal sports betting ring that supposedly he was throwing games or lowering his plus minuses or stats to some capacity and then telling people to bet on that. So he got arrested, and this came the same day that the Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups was arrested, but those were two separate charges. So yeah, the Miami Heat wasted a roster spot for 6 months? November, December, January, February, March, now April. They wasted a roster spot for pretty much 6 months. Congratulations, I guess. And final piece of news, it is the Masters are happening right now, and Rory McIlroy is looking to repeat. He has a 6-shot lead going into the weekend, and that's the largest 36-hole lead in Masters history. He's looking amazing right now. He's 12 under, and the next closest is 6 under right now. So unless he has, like, I don't want to say disastrous, but unless he plays like mediocre golf and the two under him, Reed and Burns, they play great golf, honestly, and close that gap, I think Rory might be in the clear to repeat as Masters champion. And congratulations, dude. Last year was his first time winning, and it was a great story. And then him just being, if he does it, being able to go back-to-back would be just an amazing thing for him, for the entire golfing community, so to speak, just to see this story develop in front of our eyes. This guy that just hadn't performed at the Masters going into last year, and now he'll be back-to-back like Masters champions. It's a great story, and good for him. But that's all the news. It's pretty short, not a lot to talk about in all honesty. Like, there's baseball season has started, but college hoops is over, college football is over, NBA season is winding to an end, so there's not a lot to talk about. The NFL is kind of a dead period apart from the draft. And for hockey, we're closing in on Stanley Cup. College hockey, we got Frozen 4. We got the national championship between Wisconsin and University of Denver. I think it's this weekend. We have UFC this weekend as well, but there's no crazy news that's happening right now in the world of sports. It was a lot more entertaining last week with the whole Luca Austin Reeves stuff that happened, unfortunate injuries, and just a lot more interesting stuff happened before, like in previous episodes. It's just not happening today. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the main topic of the episode then. Welcome to the main topic of the episode, where I am going to be giving a grade to all 30 NBA teams as we head into the playoffs. Play-ins start Tuesday, I believe. So, without further ado, let's get started. We're going division by division. Don't ask me to name all of the divisions because I don't know them that well off the top of my head. I don't know the names, but I know the teams are sectioned off by their divisions. It's going to be alternating east, west through all 6 divisions. I'm going to start off with the Atlantic Division. First team in the Atlantic Division is the Philadelphia 76ers, and I'm giving them a B. Honestly, not too bad of a season. Yes, you had the Paul George 25-game suspension, but you had some very high highs, honestly. Tyrese Maxey took that step as a scorer, and he's produced very, very well. He's going to be an All-NBA player this year. He was an All-Star as well. Very good, very solid play from him. You also got VJ as well, who showed promise early on in the season, kind of fell down a bit, but still a very promising young player. That's probably who you're going to build around now. VJ and Maxey is your backcourt. And then also, Joel Embiid has shown signs of life. He hasn't been playing horribly. He's been putting up, I believe, 25 or so points. And this was a year that a lot of people didn't know what exactly to make of the 76ers. Some people thought that some people thought they would be in the play-in on the outside looking in. As it stands right now, I believe they're the 6th seed. And they are either going to face the Knicks, the Cavs, or the Celtics. I don't know for sure right now, but the Sixers, not a bad season overall. You did get rid of Jared McCain, which kind of a dumb move in my opinion. You probably could have kept him. You just helped strengthen the best team in the league for no apparent reason. But it was clear that they felt like they could keep 3 guards on the team with VJ Maxey and McCain. But other than that, not a horrible season for them. After that, we get to the Raptors. Now, when you talk about high highs and low lows, that is the Toronto Raptors. They have gone up and down. They started the season off blazing hot. They had me thinking back to my Scotty Barnes take that I had like 2 years ago, just after the Olympics. I said, people asked me who's going to lead the Olympic team after. I said it was going to be Ant, it was going to be Paolo, and it was going to be Scotty. And Ant clearly still going to be there. Paolo, debate for another day. Maybe I'll bring that up when I talk about the Magic. And Scotty has been up and down. He's looked better now that he has like a true scorer next to him with Ingram, being able to go back to that kind of second option role where he really, really thrives, being able to pass the ball, rebound, do a little bit of scoring, and is a very, very good defender as well. But with the highs come the lows, and the lows have been bad, dude. You still have Jacopoto on that disgusting contract. A couple days ago, you were 5-5 in your last 10 games. So it's just very mid. You were up in the top of the world at the start of the season. Very, very good start, but then you slowed down horribly. Like, came to a grinding halt and dropped significantly down the placings right now. I still don't know exactly what spot they're in right now, but the season just doesn't move me overall like some of these other teams. And one season that does move me in the wrong direction is that of the Brooklyn Nets. They are getting a fat F, one of the first Fs on this list. And yeah, the net. Yeah, you had a couple bright spots. MPJ, not bad, not bad. But tell me one good thing I think it's 5 first round picks did. I'll wait. Because you can't. Because they didn't do anything positive. They didn't contribute at all. You're honestly wasting away Claxton, which is a crazy sentence to say you're wasting Nick Claxton. But he's not doing anything there, and he's not going anywhere either, apparently. And then you also got rid of Cam Thomas. You had to cut him. So, no, you didn't cut him. You traded him to the Bucks. But what are we talking about here? You are one of the worst teams in the league again for what is like the millionth season in a row after losing KD, Harden, and Kyrie. So the Nets just get an F, dude. It's disgusting basketball. Then we go to the literal opposite end of the spectrum. You got the Celtics. They get an A plus, dude. If I could give them something higher, I would. This was supposed to be a gap year for them. I went into the season saying that the Celtics should tank. They should try and get one of those top picks if Brad Stevens is smart, which he is. Go get one of those top picks, those top players in this loaded draft class. But Brad Stevens knew what they had in the locker room, and I clearly did not, because honestly, they're the favorite to come out of the East for me. Jason Tatum has apparently superhuman Achilles tendons, and he came back after 10 months from an Achilles injury, which is unheard of. You have discovered these new role players, Jordan Walsh, Baylor Shireman. You're just discovering these players out of the blue, even though Jordan Walsh, shout out to him. I used to watch him when he was in high school and even at Arkansas. Jaylen Brown has been playing phenomenal, even though, let's be clear, he's not going to be on that MVP ballot for me. But some people thought that he would be MVP this year. Derek White playing very, very well. So Joe Mazzulla, with his insanity, has managed to coach this team to the 2 seed in the East. And they're just playing insane basketball. I thought, going into the season, I also thought the Celtics didn't have good enough centers, but Keita has filled in very well for them, playing quality minutes and contributing very, very well. So the Celtics just, what was supposed to be a gap year, just put everything together and we're like, screw it, we're the best team in the East again. It doesn't matter. And then a team that was supposed to be the best team in the East, the Knicks. The Knicks going into the season, a lot of people thought they were going to be like the 2 seed. They were going to be arguably the best team in the East. Cat was supposed to take this leap under Mike Brown, but he really hasn't. There have been a lot of discussions about him still trying to find his role. We're at the end of the season. You can't be trying to find your role now. That's not how that works. Like, your role should have been found at the latest halfway through the season under a new head coach. And then there's, I don't want to say questions about Jalen Brunson, but him and Cat haven't exactly been meshing, so to speak. They haven't been playing extremely, extremely well together on the court, which also raises some concerns. You also have the concern about OG and Mikal and how they're not exactly playing. Like, Mikal is living up to, I think it was like 5 first-round picks they traded for him or something absurd like that. So they're not exactly playing to the level that people thought they should have. And it's just mid right now, so they get a C. It's just kind of disappointing from them. But that wraps up the Atlantic Division. We had the Sixers with a B. You had the Raptors with a C. You had the Nets with an F, Celtics with an A, and the Knicks with a C. Now we go over our first Western Conference. You got the Southwest Division. We start off with the Pelicans, and we're going back to the bottom with another fat F for the Pelicans here. You traded your first-round pick to the Hornets, or to the Hawks, for Derek Queen, and he showed flashes, but I don't think it's worth trading your unprotected first-round pick that is a lottery pick too at that. So there is a chance to get that 1 seed. So why do you trade that? I don't know. But you traded that. Zion has played, but I feel like skinny Zion has kind of lost some of what made him special. Like, he was this big guy who could move and just dominate in the paint, but skinny Zion's kind of been getting bullied in the paint, not exactly able to hold up properly, and that's caused a lot of issues for them. Then there's the whole thing about the Pelicans are the cheapest team in the league by far. But that's a whole another story for another day. I'll have to look back into that. And so the Pelicans are just F, dude. F for failure, and this season is a clear failure for them. And they don't even have their first overall pick after sucking the whole year. And then after that, we'll go over to the Mavericks. You get a C. A+ for firing Nico Harrison. A+ for sheer luck and getting Cooper Flagg, who just did some insane stuff a couple days ago, dropping 96 in 2 games. He dropped 50-something and then 40-something in back-to-back games. Just insane stuff. But you did also try to put Cooper Flagg at point guard to start the season, and you had D'Angelo Russell on the bench, and D'Angelo Russell hasn't really seen the court at all. The roster is kind of not set for Coop right now. So, like, there are major roster flaws that you have to address. You are in the lottery, so you will potentially be fixing some of those roster issues right now. So that is something to look forward to. But when you balance out the horrible things that have happened to the Mavericks this season with the absolute highs that you are getting from Cooper Flag, I think you net out perfectly at a C. There's just no getting around that right now. And then go to the Memphis Grizzlies. They get a D, and this is for involuntarily entering a tank. Yeah, you traded Desmond Bane at the start of the season. Then Ja Morant didn't exactly play well. There was the whole issue between Ja Morant and the coach, all the arguments there. And then you decided to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. mid-season, kind of gutting your roster and making it clear, like, oh, we don't care anymore. Like, we don't even know if Ja is going to stay on that roster, if they're going to continue to build around him, if they're going to move off of him during the offseason as well and just completely reset. And if you do that, I don't know if you're can do that. You don't have a roster at all right now who you're going to rely on. Cedric Coward to be your building block now, like, you can't really do that. So Grizzlies D, like, you just had a horrible season. It's close to being an F, dude. Like, you're closer to an F than you are a C right now. Grizzlies did a horrible job this season, just bad process overall. And then, dude, this entire division is just bad. Like, Rockets here, they're getting to C, dude. Apart from the KD files and that whole thing, you lost Fred VanVleet, so you don't really have point guard at all. You're playing a man at point, and he's not exactly at point. He still can't shoot a lick. You decided to just, like, Reed Shepherd. Here, play this role that you have never played before, and after essentially redshirting last year, Steven Adams is gone as well, so you really don't have those two crucial pieces that realistically were going to change everything for you. So you don't have either of those. Now you're just looking around, you're like, what are we supposed to do with this? And, like, dude, the KD files too also just stand out. Yeah, you're what, the 5 or 6 seed right now, but it's not looking great. I don't think you're not going to make it out of the first round, in my opinion, considering those top 4 is the Thunder, Spurs, Lakers, and Nuggets. I don't think you're making it out of the first round, in my opinion, because things look nasty. You don't really have someone to facilitate, to bring the ball up, and that's caused a lot of issues. A lot of issues for KD because he can't really do that anymore. He needed Fred VanVleet to be that point guard to initiate the offense for them. So overall, they get a C as well. Some major issues for them. And then the one team in this division that redeems them, the Spurs, get an A for amazing, an A for having the freakiest NBA player I've ever seen in my life, Victor Wembanyama, on that roster. You are the 2 seed, locked into the 2 seed, and you've been nipping at the heels of the Thunder the entire season. In my mid-season tier list or ranking of NBA teams, I had the Spurs at 1. So I believe the Spurs are amazing. You have Wembanyama. Apart from that, though, you have Castle, who is playing well. You have Harper, who's playing well. And also, you don't, like, a team with Victor Wembanyama just rarely gets the opportunity to just add the 3rd overall pick and just have him instantly click and play well. Even the time that Vic missed with, I believe it was a calf strain, the other players stepped up. They didn't really slip down the standings at all. They still maintained their level of play and were able to continue going forward and just stay on the heels of the Thunder the entire season. Sorry for the yawns. Jeez Louise, I'm exhausted. But the Spurs are amazing, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it out of the West this season. So, Spurs get an A, and that wraps up the Southwest Division. You got the Pelicans with an F. You got the Grizzlies with a D. You got the Rockets and the Mavs both with a C. And you got the Spurs with an A. Going back over to the East. Going back over to the East, you have the Central Division. And starting off the Central Division, you have the Indiana Pacers, and they're getting a B. Honestly, I understand what some of you might say. They are arguably the worst team in the league, but that's on purpose. It makes a lot of sense to me. Halliburton, he tore his Achilles in the finals, in Game 7 in the finals last year. It was clear that he wasn't going to play, so there's no point in rushing him back. You've got to watch Siakam ball out. You made a good trade for Zubac. And you've let these players get time under their belt. And now you're going to add a probable top 5 pick to a roster that's going to have Hallie coming back. You still have Nesmith, Nimhard. You got Siakam. You're adding Zubac to the lineup. Like, things could go very, very well for the Pacers next year. And I just love to see that. Halliburton, very fun player to watch, honestly. And this is just a good process for them. It was supposed to be a down year for them, and they took that literal. I know a lot of people, a lot of Pacers fans saying that, oh, we're the Pacers. We don't tank. We do things the right way. It's okay to tank, dude. Like, it's fine. It's 1 year. You're going to be able to go back to what you were before, not tanking, always being semi-competitive, so to speak. And this is just a good move for them, something that keeps their roster, gives them some youth. And I like their season overall, so I give them a B. After that, dude, the Pistons. A. Pistons get an A, dude. Amazing. You had Cade take a leap. You had Duren take a leap. Number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference the whole year. The Pistons just been a great team to watch. It's unfortunate Cade had the collapsed lung when he did, kind of at the end of the season, but you didn't really stumble too much. You still kept things going, and they've been playing well. I hate to say this, you moved off of Jaden Ivey on time. You kind of read the tea leaves, knew what was going to happen, and you've just been doing everything right this entire season. And now you are in a position to make it to the NBA Finals, something that I never thought I would be saying about the Pistons after watching them the past couple years before and even with like those first couple years after Cade was drafted. I never thought I'd be saying that the Pistons have a chance to make the finals. But here we are, number 1 seed in the East, number 1 seed the entire season. And the Pistons are looking dangerous. The only question now is what level Cade will come back at and if they'll be able to stay afloat for him to come back. And then we get to the Bulls. C. Mid, standard mid, Bulls, middle of the pack. Play inbound, nothing gonna happen, never gonna do anything behinds, bro. Like, you fired your GM, cool. You moved Io DeSumo and Cody White, cool, or Kobe White, cool. You had the whole Jaden Ivey deal, okay. Modest looks nice. I enjoy watching Modest play. Nice, but what meaningful thing have you done or has happened to you? Nothing. So when you don't do anything, nothing happens to you. You're in the same spot you were last year, which is the play-in tournament, which is also the spot you want to be in. You get a C. You're just mid. The definition of the standard of mid remains the Chicago Bulls. After that, the Bucks get a big fat F for failure, fraudulent with Giannis, and just freaking terrible. You have the Giannis saga of, oh, I don't want to be traded. Oh, I may or may not be open to a move. Oh, we are now being investigated by the league because apparently Giannis wants to play, but we want to sideline him for the rest of the season. We traded for Cam Thomas and then waived him after he played 4 games. Like, what are we doing here? We don't have anyone else. We waived and stretched Dame's contract. So now he's kind of just sitting on the books. We don't really have any other redeeming qualities or players or anything at all. If Giannis leaves, we will be in the gutter. We will be late 2010s Pistons, which is absolutely atrocious, picking in the top 5 every year. So the Bucks are bad, dude. F, failure, fraudulent, freaking terrible, bad team. Ew, just bleh. We round out the Central Division with the Cavaliers. I'm disappointed in the Cavs, dude. I thought after last year they were bound to repeat, especially after Tatum tore his Achilles. I thought the Cavs were going to be the number 1 seed again this year just because they had all 4 of their central players. You had Mobley, Allen, Garland, and Mitchell coming back. You were supposed to be this team with continuity that could really make things work, but things haven't worked, dude. Mobley, I don't want to say took a step back, but he definitely didn't take the steps forward that a lot of people wanted him to. You still have D. Mitch acting as that one-man army, just going through, stomping out, and scoring as many points as possible, but you moved on from Darius Garland and traded for James Harden. Yeah, he's put up numbers, but it's March basketball. How much stock are we actually putting into those numbers here? Are they really realistic? And you also got him to make a playoff run. What was the last time James Harden was good in the playoffs? Remind me again, when was that? Oh, right. Never. So I don't know about that. And then Mobley, just the fact that Mobley got nicknamed 18 and 8 is crazy. This is a dude that's supposed to be taking a leap this year, supposed to be taking another step forward to really lead the team, make it his team, but he hasn't done that. He's been kind of a letdown, and the Cavs have just let me down as an entirety. I thought they were going to be a whole lot heck better than they actually were. So kind of disappointed in the Cavaliers. And that wraps up Central Division. We got the Pacers with a B, the Pistons with an A, the Bucks with an F, the Bulls with a C, and the Cavs with a C. Kind of lower tier, but kind of mid division overall. Then we go back over to the West. We got the Pacific Division. The Clippers. Dude, I give the Clippers a B. You have your player of the future in Darius Garland. Nice, dude. Like, he's going to lead your team into the future. Kawhi Leonard, apart from all the aspiration stuff, looks great, dude. He looks amazing. Turning back the clock to like 2019 Kawhi, he's incredible right now. Just putting points on the board in whatever way you need, 40 bombs, like anything that you need in scoring wise, he's doing it for you. And then, like, I didn't know how good the Clippers were going to be this year. Like, you definitely struggled to start the season. And I don't remember what the stat was exactly, but that insane turnaround from having one of the worst records in the league to now flipping it, having a winning record, and just playing really, really well. I give that a B overall. Not horrible season for them, but it's definitely not good enough to be an A. It's like a B minus C season for me. So still very, very solid for them. After that, we get to the Warriors. This breaks my heart, dude, but the Warriors get an F, dude. F for failure, failed idea of two timelines, failed idea of the unction. It was bad, dude. Steph missed more than a fourth of the season. Butler tore his ACL. Moody's knee imploded. Kuminga is no longer on the roster. You traded him for a center that had some unknown illness in Porzingis. Horford is geriatric and barely plays. Draymond Green is now more violent than ever. That now that Curry had to miss a lot of time, he's just trying to do whatever he can to make up, and that's not exactly a good thing. And we're watching pods-led basketball, which is where I want to be right now. So the Warriors, you tried that two timeline thing, didn't work. You tried to run things with the unction, this insanely old roster with Steph, Butler, Horford, and Green. That didn't work out. And now you don't really have young players either. You are locked into the play-in, and you're not going to make it out of the play-in either, in all sincerity. So some major, major issues that the Warriors have to address going into next season. And they're an abject failure this season. And we go to the Lakers. Lakers get a B. You had those games with Luka and Reeves that were amazing towards the start of the season. And then Reeves got hurt with a calf strain, so that kind of slowed things down. You took a bit of a downturn. And then things started to pick up again in March with Luka averaging 40, being just a god amongst men. But now Luka is hurt, so is Reeves. LeBron turned into a third option and looked meh at best, in my opinion. Ayton and is very, very mid, but nevertheless, before Luka and Reeves got hurt, you were the 3 seed. So things could have gone a whole lot worse, but you were able to figure things out. And like you showed that the combination of Reeves and Luca is worth it long term because when one went down, the other stepped up, and you were just really able to stay afloat in general. But I can't give you an A just because the injury questions kind of tanked your position at the end of the season. You now, I believe, the 4 or the 5 seed. And we don't know when exactly Luca and Reeves are going to come back. If Luca comes back too quickly after his miracle trip to Spain, I would be concerned. But still some issues that need to be addressed by the Lakers. And the Kings. The Kings, dude. They are the worst team in the NBA, and I despise them. I hate the Kings so much, dude. You obviously are tanking. You have not tried to hide the fact. I have talked about it so much on this podcast. You sat bench basically benched Levine and Sabonis, and you are now playing with DeMar DeRozan MIDI-led hoops, and that is absolutely disgusting. You are an F for freaking disgusting, horrible, and I hate to watch it. And this is just an absolute slander fest on the Kings because they are terrible. They don't deserve to have a lottery pick. They just deserve to stay terrible and not good for the forever future of this franchise. Ugh, I hate the Kings. Moving on. The Suns get an A. We're going from F to A, flipping the script here. I thought the Suns were going to be horrible, but thanks to Booker and Dylan Brooks, nice. Very nice, dude. Not bad at all. So, the Suns are a competitive team. Looking very, very good. Making some major steps in the right direction. Your coach looks great, dude. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He's going to be able to coach a good team for the next few years at least. And if you're able to keep this team together, maybe add some more pieces to it, nice, dude. Very, very solid squad overall. I enjoy watching them a lot. So the Suns get an A. And that wraps up the Pacific Division. You got the Clippers with a B. You got the Warriors with the fattest, well, not the fattest F, but a very fat F. You got the Lakers with a B as well. You got the Kings with the fattest F in the world. And you got the Suns with an A. Final Eastern Conference Division. You got the Southeast Division. Starting that off with the Atlanta Hawks. I'm giving them a B. Things didn't go how you thought they were going to go when they had all of these players around Trey. Keep in mind, Trey is no longer on the roster. He's now on the Wizards. Porzingis is on the Warriors. But all things considered, not horrible. I'm not terribly opposed to what the Hawks have done this season. They are empowering. Why am I blanking on his Jalen Johnson? They are empowering Jalen Johnson to the upteenth degree. And honestly, it's working out very, very well. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is looking extremely good. Is it Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Or was it that other role player from T-Wolves? Why am I blanking on this? No, it is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's been looking very, very good right now. Then part of how Porzingis left was you got Kuminga, and I was looking at this stat. I want to say like last week or so, you were 11-1 in games with Kuminga, so not bad. Even though I did say I thought the Hawks were going to be like going into the season, I thought they were going to be like a 3 seed or something, 3 or 4 seed behind the Cavs, the Knicks, and like the Pistons. I thought they were going to be right, and the Magic too, but that's another conversation. I thought they were going to be right in there. Even though they're not there, they're in the play-in, I believe. The Hawks still have had a surprisingly good season so far, and I've enjoyed it. I think give them another year of moves, they could be very good. So I give the Hawks a B. And I give the Miami Heat a C. You are Bulls Southeast. Mid to the upteenth degree. Not good. You just released Terry Rozier. He was holding a roster spot for 6 months after he was arrested. Bam Adebayo scored 83 points. So, hey, that's cool. Nice. But what else do you have right now? Tyler Hero? I guess. Jaime Jaquez? I guess. Like, he doesn't exactly move me in any direction. I don't think that they wanted to move in any direction either. So you are Bulls Southeast. You wanted to be mid. You are mid. You are part of the play-in invitational along with the Bulls. So that is where you will remain. And that is the grade your grade reflects that. A C for average. And another team that gets a C. The Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Catchy, dude. That's such a catchy song, by the way. I love it. But now we get to the Paolo conversation that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Scotty Barnes. Paolo, what are you doing? It's a fan. I would like to know what's going on here. Why are you sometimes good, sometimes horrible, sometimes can't shoot the ball like Ben Simmons? Like, what's going on here? And then you also have Franz. You also, neither of you can play good minutes together. You both kind of thrive as independent players. Desmond Bain playing well, sure, okay, cool. Jalen Suggs, balling now, nice, playing not bad, but really, it's the stars that drag you down. What are we doing here with those two? Also, your coach. I'm just blanking on names today, but your coach getting the boot, bro. Get him out of here. So, Orlando Magic gets C. The Wizards, F. Failure, fraudulent, horrible. You let Bam Adebayo score 83 points on you. That is all I am saying. You have Trae Young and Anthony Davis on that roster for some unbeknownst reason to me. I don't know. Neither of them have played. You are clearly tanking. So just F. Horrible, bad, blech. Moving on. Well, first let's wrap up Southeast before I do anything else. We have the Hawks with a B. You have the Heat with a C. You have the Magic with a C. And then, where are my Hornets? I skipped over the Hornets. The Hornets. The Hornets have an A. Dude, the Hornets are amazing. What are we talking about here? I skipped over the Hornets. No. Dude, the Hornets are spectacular. I love the Charlotte Hornets. I love Con Knipple. If Cooper Flag wasn't in this draft class, Con would be my rookie of the year, but Coop is there. But Con is great, bro. And then you have LaMelo not in this primary scorer role anymore, and he looks great. You have Miller there as well, who's playing well. You just look very competent as a team. You've secured your spot in the play-in tournament, and honestly, you're one of those teams where those top six are looking at you like, I don't know exactly if I want to play the Charlotte Hornets right now. They're dangerous. And honestly, I don't blame them, dude. The Charlotte Hornets would be a tough first-round outing that I would probably want to avoid if at all possible. And they've set themselves up well for the future too. Like they're going to be good for the next couple of years at least. I really like that trio of Con, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller together. It's just something that works very, very well. And going into the future is also just a great, great plan for them. So the Hornets, A plus, no shadow of a doubt, no question, nothing. Chef's kiss, amazing. Love the Hornets. So summarize again: Southeast Division, Hornets with an A, Hawks with a B, Heat with a C, Magic with a C, and a Wizards with an F. And now we get into the final division. We got the Northwest Division, starting off with the OKC Thunder. Starting off with the OKC Thunder, you get an A. Yeah, you didn't get to the 72 win mark that a lot of people were saying you were at the start of the season when you started like 26-1 or some insane number like that. But you have been the 1 seed the entire season. You faced some health issues with J-Dub, who hasn't exactly been on the court, but Shea is probably back-to-back MVP here. You are also just going to win 65 games casually. You are the favorite to win the ring or the title back-to-back. You've just been playing extremely, extremely well the entire season. You've discovered these new players that have just helped you fill in. Also, Jared McCain trade. Love that for them. That was a great move. Something that I didn't think was going to happen, but a lot of people were calling for them to bring in another shooter, and they did exactly that. And he's been a great addition for them overall. So, Thunder get an A. After that, the Jazz get a C. It's borderline a D, but they get a C. You have now this group of players. You have Kessler, Jaren Jackson, you have Lowry, and you have what's his name? That guard. I want to say Murray, but that's not right. But you have those four there. So that's a positive going into next year. You also have a lottery pick, so that's nice as well, even though you did tank very blatantly. Not a fan of that at all. Not a supporter of that. You were one of the teams that I talked about directly when I was talking about tanking, and I still am talking about you directly related to tanking. But the downside of the tanking with the upside of what could be next season, adding like a top 5 pick to that group, nets you out as a C, very mid overall this season, but things are honestly looking up for them in the future. And then the Denver Nuggets, dude. They get a D. I thought they were going to be good, but they were honestly disappointing. Jokic missed a decent amount of time. He'll still be second on my. I don't even know if he'll be second on my MVP ballot right now. I got SGA, and then I got Wemby at 2. So Jokic missed a significant amount of time, and then someone was always hurt. You didn't have your entire team on healthy at the same time. Sure, you had Christian Brown healthy the whole season, but he's been playing terrible. Peyton Watson played well. Then he got hurt. Hey, Jamal Murray made his first All-Star game. Congratulations. But Jokic got hurt. Cam Johnson hasn't exactly been playing well. Aaron Gordon is getting older. So everyone thought that after the moves, Bruce Brown has been horrible. He's been a non-factor the whole season. So everyone thought that the Nuggets were right up there with the Thunder as top 2 title favorites. And they haven't exactly done that all season. They've been looking very, very bad, in all honesty. Some just lacking oomph as a team. And it's been D for disappointing. Not good at all for them. I just don't know how to put it into words. It's just been, disappointing is the only way to phrase it. Let down by the Nuggets as a whole. And then Trailblazers get an F for FBI. And Chauncey Billups, that entire situation. Also, Denny gets F for fraudulent all-star. He is a bully who just shoulders his way to the paint. A lot of fouls, a lot of free throws there. Not a huge fan of that, personally. So you just get an F for that as a whole. Not going to spend too much time talking about Chauncey Billups and the crime families and his poker games or whatever. Not going to spend too much time talking about Denny and his all-star appearance. So, hey, Donovan Clingan, good defensive center. Good paint presence. Love that. But F for FBI and fraudulent for the Trailblazers. And I believe the last team is the Minnesota Timberwolves with a C. I don't know. You had Ant taking on this point guard role. It hasn't looked great as an entirety as a whole. You brought in Ayo Dosunmu to try and kind of solve that, and it hasn't looked horrible. Rudy Gobert could still play defense at a very, very high level, so hey, here's to that. But you have some issues that need to be addressed on the roster. I don't think they're going to be making it to a third straight Western Conference Finals, but you do have upside. Ant has just elevated his game in a different way every year. So you have that guy that is just going to be able to lead you no matter the situation. And you have Gobert, who's still proving he can be extremely good on the defensive end of the floor. But you don't exactly have the product as a whole. So for that, you get a C. And that wraps it up. I'll summarize the Northwest Division again. You got Thunder with an A. You got the Nuggets with a D. You have the Trailblazers with an F for FBI. You have the Jazz with a C, and you have the T-Wolves with a C as well. So that wraps up my grades for all 30 teams in the NBA. Honestly, I didn't really give out that many. Oh, no, we are not saying that. That was about to sound so weird. Um, I didn't give out too many A's. I don't think so. What? I gave Spurs an A, Pistons an A, Thunder an A, and I think that might be Celtics an A, but I think that might be it. There was a decent amount of Fs, but those were all very much warranted. So I feel like it was a very balanced list. As we head into the playoffs, play-ins start on Tuesday, and then the playoffs start, I believe, the 18th. So stay tuned for that. It'll be a fun time. So without further ado, let's get into a real fun time. Let's get into game time. Welcome to game time. Should be rather interesting as I'm throwing in a couple new things, trying to change things up, trying to keep it entertaining for me and for you guys. So, one thing that's not going to change up is these quizzes at the start. Today we're doing NBA top 10 league leaders of the 2010s. We got points, assists, rebounds, blocks, steals, minutes played, three-pointers, dunks, and playoff games started. So let's get started. We're going to put Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Curry. Durant is not on there. LeBron, D-Mitch, Luka, Brunson is not on there either. Interesting. Draymond is not on there. Oh, Josh Hart has to be. He's not on here for minutes played. What? Tatum, Brown. Who? Gordon. Jamal Murray, some capacity. Or DeJounte Murray. Interesting. Gobert. Who? Oh, is Wembanyama. Is Wemby? Nah, because I don't think he's too late. Or he's too early, so to speak. Who else am I missing here? Who puts up a lot of points now? Embiid? Are you on here for anything? No. What about Maxey? Hasn't had that much. Oh, is Jimmy Butler on here? Yes, he is. Kawhi. Harden. Westbrook. Bro, who is dishing out assists more than Jokic in the 2010s? It's not LeBron. It's not Luka, and it's not Jokic. Who is this? Who are these people, bro? Oh, it's Trey. Is Paolo on here? Oh, is Adebayo? Bam is on here. Halliburton. Levine. No, but Sabonis. Who else am I missing here? Dame's on here. East. Well, we'll go through the West. Is Darius Garland on here in any capacity? No, he's not. After that, Anthony Edward. He's not on here. Okay. Mobley has to be on here. Jared Allen's on here. That is not how you spell Donovan Mitchell's name. I already guessed him too. Cade? No. Who else? Who else am I missing here? Ayton? No, but Devin Booker. So I got all the points. Who are these Houston teams? Or these Texas teams? Sengun is definitely not going to be the answer. Is Dylan Brooks on here for something that I should know? Is Lou Dort on here also? No. Mavericks don't really have anyone. PJ Washington or Klay Thompson? No, neither of them for 3-pointers. Who else? The Spurs. Dude, the Spurs didn't really have anyone like concrete. John Morant has missed too much time. Zion also missed too much time. It's not Franz or Mo. It's not, I already guessed Paolo. The Pelicans. Dude, the Pelicans don't have anyone. Pelicans. Definitely not the Nets. Or not MPJ. If it's not Brunson, it's not Hart. Bridges. Oh yeah, because Mikhail doesn't miss games ever. OG. Who else? Oh, who's on the Raptors? Scotty Barnes. Not who I was going for, but I guess Harrison Barnes works too. No, not Ingram. Who else? Vucevic? Okay. Who else am I missing here? Caruso? No. Dude, who are these guys? Top of the league in blocks. Not Ayton. Who are Duncan Robinson? I was going for Mitchell Robinson, but I guess Duncan Robinson works too. Who else? Give me something I can work with. Man, I am blanking right now. Who are these big men? Horford? Porzingis? Who else? Dude, who are these big men that get blocks? Jonathan Isaac, no. Who else could this possibly be? I am absolutely blanking on it. Wow. Who are these big men? Is this Claxton on here? Claxton is on here. Oh, it's Miles Turner. Yeah, because he doesn't grab a single rebound, but he does get blocks. Who else am I missing, dude? The fact that Mobley is not on blocks, at least, is surprising. Weird. Who else am I missing? Is Bane on here for anything? No. Dude, I don't know who I'm missing. I feel like I've named the majority of these players. Did I say Daniels? No. CJ McCollum? Who else? Dude, I don't know who else I'm missing here. Chris Paul, Valanciunas, Brooke. Oh, AD. Fox. Siakam. Capella. Yeah, that tracks. Okay. I don't think I was ever going to get Matisse Thybulle, though. I don't think that was ever happening, dude. Zubac. Fair. Nah, that makes sense. We got two different wheel spins today. The first one is the standard one. Trying to build a 17-0 team. We still have not done it yet, in my opinion. We got to build the perfect team. Absolutely flawless. And we start off with the Commanders. Who do we take here? Interesting. I'm going to take the coach. I'm going to take Dan Quinn. After that, please give me somebody good that I can build around and get the Titans. Wonderful. I guess we'll go Cam Ward, quarterback. Not great, but could be worse. Stay on the Chiefs, please. Oh, Oh, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, because I don't want to. Kelsey is old. They don't have receivers. Defense is also getting up there in age. Chargers. Right. This is tough, dude. This is tough. We'll take Ladd. I definitely did not spell his name right there. But we'll take Ladd McConkey. After that, Eagles. We'll take Eagles defense. Not bad, but this is. I can already tell this is not a 17-0 team, dude. Unless I get an absolutely filthy combo here. We'll go Puka as my wide receiver 1, and I am just now realizing Puka is spelled with a K, not a C. Yikes. Tight end, we'll go Darren Waller, I guess. Dude, this is just nasty stuff, bro. I need somebody good. Seahawks. How could we improve the Eagles' defense? Man. Low key, we'll give the Eagles' defense Nick Emanwari. And then whose O-line do we get? Please be solid, be decent, well, not bad. Not horrible. That could have been a whole lot worse, but that is definitely not a 17-0 team. Looking back at this, I could have gone defensive player for the Browns and got Seahawks O-line there. Dolphins don't really have a receiver, so I could take one there. Chargers. I mean, there's not much else I could have done, all things considered, but this is definitely not a 17-0 team. Then we're going to stick with... Actually, I'm doing this all on the fly. We got to guess the NFL defense here based on where they went to college. So we got a Stanford safety along with 2 Ohio State linebackers, a Bama quarter, a Louisville quarter. Is this the Broncos? It's not the Broncos, because I was thinking that was Surtain. Who are these Ohio State linebackers? Can't be the Raiders now, because... No. Can't be the Raiders, because Nakobe Dean went to Georgia. Not University of Idaho. And it's not the Ravens, because even though Marlon went to Bama, Kyle Hamilton is not there. Who are they covering up at DT? I feel like this should be someone that I know. It's not... Let's just start knocking off teams here. Wait a minute. This isn't the Cowboys. No, it's not. So, NFC East. Not the Eagles, not the Cowboys, not the Giants, and not the Commanders. This is not the 49ers. It's not the Rams. Not the Seahawks. Not the Cardinals. Not Detroit, because Hutch would have been on there. Who else do I know in that division? It's not Detroit. Where did these other players go? Dude, I'll come back to that. It's not the Saints. Actually, It is the Saints. That took me a second, but that's Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah. That is Kool-Aid. Never mind. 100% makes sense. After that, let's get to the lineup game. Here we go. What do I choose here? Interesting. I feel like this might be a steal. I feel like that might be the best option, honestly. Yeah, we'll do that. See what people think. Baker, Harvey, Chase, Flowers, and Hawkinson. I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if I go RJ Harvey. I like that combo a lot better. But then again, that's just me. Now we're going to go to the wheel again. But this time, we're going to be drafting a quarterback. We're going to be drafting arm, IQ, body, mobility, and accuracy to try and build the best quarterback possible from only modern quarterbacks. Who do we start off with? Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield. What do we take from Baker? Okay. He has a decent arm. The IQ isn't bad, but he does make some boneheaded plays. I guess. Mobility for Baker. Not super thrilled about that. But we can work around it somehow. Broncos. Yikes. Bo Nix. I'll take his body, I guess. We're kind of just building out the most average quarterback of the world right now. I need something. We'll go Rodgers for arm. Do I go? Yeah, I'll go Rodgers for arm. Who do we have to round this out? Please be not horrible. Jared Goff? I think Goff is pretty accurate. Now I just need a good IQ. And we should be fine. Keep going. Okay, not horrible. We got Mahomes' IQ. That's not a terrible quarterback, but I feel like it's a very stationary quarterback. You got Aaron Rodgers' arm, which is pretty good. It's not great at this point in his career, at least. But then you have Mahomes' IQ, Bo Nix's body, with Baker's mobility, and Jared Goff's accuracy to round things out. And to round things out with the NFL content, or the NFL games, we're going to do our Wordle here. We're going to go A.J. Brown. Weighs more than 226, so not a DB. Probably not a running back. In the AFC, something. Who do I want to throw a dart at in the AFC? We'll go Myles Garrett. Or it's only offensive players. Never mind. Who do I want to? We'll go Harold Fannin. He's a tight end in the AFC with a high jersey number, so probably a lineman. Other tight ends in the AFC. Mark Andrews. I guess in the same division anyways. Whoops. So not the AFC North. AFC East. Is this Kelsey? It's not the West. AFC East. Dawson Knox, Darren Waller. Is this Dawson Knox? It's not Dawson Knox. So we've done so it's the AFC South. Cade Stover? So it's not the Texans. Who are these tight ends on the Colts, the Jags, and the Titans? Titans. I think Gunnar Helm is on the Titans. So it's not the Titans. Who else could this be? I'm at 7 of 8 guesses, bro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dude, it's my last guess, and I don't know who in the world this could possibly be. Fudge, dude. Who is this? This is impossible. I don't know the AFC South tight ends like that. I don't know AFC South tight ends like that. This just be shot in the dark. No way. Did I just... I sniped that from nowhere, bro. Brenton Strange? You have got to be kidding me here. Oh my gosh. All right, let's move on to the soccer. Dude, Brenton Strange. It's crazy. You know the deal, though. Trying to build a team to win the sextuple. Modern players only. We start with Real Madrid. And we'll start off with... What the heck? Yeah, Mbappe. Arguably best player in the world, depending on who you ask. After that, who do we get? We get Dortmund. Who do I want to take from the German side here? Huh. We'll go Job Bellingham. That's gonna look deceiving. That's gonna look so deceiving because it's not Jude Bellingham, it's Job Bellingham. But do we put both of them? Just go both Bellinghams, Job and Jude. Crazy midfield chemistry. That might be the strat here. And then we could start on the defense with Van Dijk. This is turning out pretty well. Not too bad. Chelsea. I guess we'll put Palmer midfield to round things out. Chemistry in the midfield is very nice, though. You got an all-English midfielder. You got the two Bellingham brothers. And Chelsea again. Very nice. Current players here. Who do I want to take from Chelsea? Yeah, I'll do that. Cucurella. Take Cucurella on the left. So far, not too bad. I need good attacking options. Or we'll take Magnan in goal. I don't think I spelled his name right, but that is Mike Magnan, the French goalie. And well, this wheel just loves Chelsea today. Okay then. Chelsea will go Reece James, I guess. For my team, I need a good second center back and striker. Okay. There's Saliba. That's the first name that's coming to mind here. Now to wrap up my squad, I need two powerhouses up top, and Napoli is not where I'm going to get them. At all. I guess Lukaku is my only option as a striker. And, dude, I just need someone here provide me some quality. Ooh, stay there. All right. Oh, Cherky. That, I don't know how I feel about this. It's definitely flawed. A lot of Premier League players, though, or players who have played in the Premier League, too. Cherky, Reece James, Palmer, Lukaku played in the Premier, Van Dijk, Saliba played in the Premier. So not a horrible team, but it's not stellar either. I don't think it's winning six-tuple. And then we're back at it again. Regular deal. Guessing the player. Bruno Fernandes, Premier League, Man United, midfielder off to a very, very good start. Midfielders for United. Interesting. Why am I blanking on their... Cunha's a forward, right? Yeah. Cunha's a forward. Casemiro, no. Kobe Mino. Hey. Kobe Mino. Love that. Nice and precise. Get it done fast, bro. A lot better than the NFL one. NFL one had me going, bro. Had me stressing. Now let's build out this squad. We'll go 3-1-4-2. Who do we get? Fernandinho. Not a bad start. We'll link him up with Aubameyang and him. Horrible chemistry right now. Maradona can help. So can Song. Modric, maybe not. Boost up my chemistry here. Right. We'll go Bernardo Silva. After that, we'll take David Luiz. Gets chemistry. Umtiti, I guess. Fabinho, Blind, Daily Blind. Not great, but Ederson will help. I just need some players here. Wild in terms of chemistry by taking him, but I don't care. Then we'll put Henri there. After that, him, move David Luiz, put him. That helps our chemistry a little bit. After that, come on. Aguero works very well. After Benzema. Right. That's an issue because I want to use Benzema. Seedorf will take him. He can always help with chemistry issues. Lewa, can't really use him. And, oh, wow. We'll take Scholesy. He'll help with the chemistry as well. So we'll decide put him there. That solves. Oh, wow. Right. Figo in you get. And we got a backup keeper. And we'll take him. Daily Blind, go there. There. Now the question is, can I put that without sacrificing chemistry? That is the question. I don't believe so. That would be great if I could. But that's the issue. See, if I put... man. What do I do here? I don't know. This is a genuine issue. Because if I put Seedorf here, then I get the chemistry up even more, but the rating drops. So I can go there. If I just put Aguero there, then I go to a 191. I guess we'll have to keep that. Why does Aguero work? Oh, the chemistry link from Fernandinho. Oh, that makes sense. And there you have it, a 191 foot draft. I will take that. Very, very good. But here we are back again with the wheel part 4 now. With the wheel, we are going to be continuing to try and beat the prime Golden State Warriors. Last time, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great either. Let's see if we can do something. Yeah, oh my god, not the Trailblazers, dude. This is not what I wanted at all, bro. We'll go, yeah. We'll go Denny there. I'm pretty sure I misspelled his name. I apologize for that. After that, please. Pacers. We'll go. Oh, because I can't go Halliburton because he doesn't have an Achilles. We'll go Siakam. We'll go Siakam there at the 4. Please continue to give me anything. No. God, no. Fudge. Ew. Why? Oh my gosh. The Kings. Ew. Sabonis, I guess. Sabonis, JaVale McGee conversations is where we're at right now, dude. Oh, stay. Oh, either or. Luka, Curry. Curry for Curry. Please give me Ant. Oh, that actually worked. Curry for Curry. I'll lean toward like 16, 17 Curry, though. I will definitely lean towards Ant over Clay. I'm probably leaning KD over Denny. Siakam versus Green might be a draw, but I might lean towards Siakam. And then Sabonis and JaVale McGee is a conversation I don't want to have. So we're going to skip that. Just call that chalk. But overall, I'm going to lean towards the 16-17 Warriors again. I don't think this team is going to be able to do it. They do have the shooting with Curry and Edwards, but they don't have the defensive abilities. Sabonis is a gigantic liability, and they're just not going to be able to do it on the defensive end at all. Then we'll go blind tier list. Tim Duncan. We'll go 2. Oh, Kobe Bryant. 2. Whoa. Are these just all-time players? Hot take, Wilt at 4. Dirk, Shea, Shaq at 3. Same with Larry and Magic. That is perfect. That is perfection. Honestly, I might have to move Kobe down, replace him with probably Magic for it to be perfect. But other than that, I'm not going to complain about this. This is great. What was the category? Goats. Dude, this is perfect. I just made the perfect blind tier list. Is this the first time in his bag history? I think so. Hey, man, congratulations to me. Look at me go. After that, we'll go players drafted this decade. Please let me play. Thank you. Brandon Miller. We'll go tier 3. Miles McBride. We'll go 4. J-Dub will go 2. Asar will go 4. Cade 2. Maxi 3. Ant 1. Fudge. That hurt my soul. Clearly, Brandon Miller has to be moved. Clearly, everyone has to be moved down a tier right now. Ant has to go there. J-Dub goes there. Brandon Miller goes there. And then Wemby goes to 1. So we just got to shuffle things down a tier right now. Yeah. J-Dub goes down. Ant goes down. And then Wemby goes up. That sums it up pretty easily. After that, we'll do start bench cut. Oh, wow. Point guard conversations right now. I'm going to go Chris Paul. Low-key top 5 point guard. I'll keep this chalk. I don't think Kyrie is better than them. Now, this is an interesting conversation. If we're going offense, it's obviously AD 1, Wallace 2, Rodman 3. But if we're going defense, I think like that. Oh, wow. What are these combinations? I'm going to go Bosch, Cat, and then Stoudemire here. Interesting combinations here. Let's see what the last one. Oh my god. Right. Timmy, Magic, Shaq. Really? People have Shaq over Tim Duncan? No. That's ridiculous. Dude, no. Duncan is better than Shaq. All time. I don't care about the I don't care about the moniker most dominant player, okay? That doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Duncan had the dynasty because once Shaq left LA, yeah, he had the 1 year in 06 where he was carried by Wade. But after that, there was nothing. With Duncan, it started in the late 90s when he was with David Robinson and went till, I think, 2012? Something like that. It was a long period of time with Duncan. He has more rings than Shaq. I don't know if he has more MVPs that might be tied. And Duncan just contributed more to winning. And then I think consensus, everyone thinks that Magic is better than Shaq all time. So yeah, that's my ranking at least. But we're going back to the wheel now. We're going to try and build an absolute demigod of an NBA player. We got body, shooting, passing, dribbling, and finishing. Let's see what type of demigod player I can build. What do we start off with? Cleveland Cavaliers. Do I? Honestly, I'm going to go for Mobley. Body. Nice lanky body. Doesn't get hurt a crazy amount of the time. The Pelicans. Who the heck do I want from this poverty franchise? Huh. Interesting. Who do I want? I guess I'll go. Yeah, we'll go Zion finishing here. For the dunks at least. Not great. Please, please, please. Pacers, we'll go passing. We'll go Hallie for passing pretty easily. One of the best passers in the league. Can move the rock after that. Get to the Hornets. No. Dude, I was prepared to take Con in a heartbeat, dude. The Raptors. Right. None of them really have a tight handle. None of them are great shooters either. I guess I'll go Ingram for the mid-range game and kind of what he can give me there, but it's not great. I'm not thrilled about that. Oh my god. Lakers. Oh my god. Lakers will go Luka dribbling. Dude, this is disgusting. Mobley bodied with a Brandon Ingram midi. He can move the rock though. He got Hallie's passing, and he can dunk. But this isn't a great guy, bro. The Ingram shooting just makes it rough, man. It's not good at all. But I think we could start. I think we can start to come to an end of game time, and we know it's the end when I get to total. Last game I normally play. Golden State Warrior. Oh, is this the Sixers? Embiid. Atlantic. What is the relation to the Sixers, though? It's a forward-centered. No, because Tatum is 0. So it's not him. It's Toronto. Dude, the fact they list Scotty as a guard forward is insane to me, by the way. Total. So it's a center on the Raptors. Who are these Raptors centers, man. Who are these other centers on the Raptors, man? Didn't he go to the Raptors? Trace Jackson Davis, dude, that's disgusting, man. Wow, I hate that so much. But that is what I'm going to end game time with. Added a couple things. Added the creative player with the NFL and NBA. If you enjoyed that, let me know. But now it's time to get into the game previews. Well, we are at the end of the episode. Gonna go over some of the game previews for this week. Nothing crazy happening. There is one soccer game that is happening on Sunday, one good game that is between Chelsea and Manchester City on Sunday at 11:30 Eastern. So be sure to tune into that. There's also UFC tomorrow, UFC 328, I believe it is, titled, or 327. The main event is title fight between Yuri Prohaska and Carlos Ulberg for the vacated light heavyweight title. So that'll be an interesting fight for sure. And then it's the end of the NBA season, last 2 days of games, and then the play-in tournament starts on Tuesday. And it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, going all the way till I think it is the 18th when the playoffs actually start. And then we also have the end of the Masters this weekend play. So be sure to tune into that. But that is the end of the episode. It was a bit of a drag to record, if I'm being honest here. But I had fun going through all of these NBA teams, giving them a grade. You get to see what it's like being on the other side, being the teacher, handing out the grades instead of the one receiving them. But I had fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this recording, this episode. A bit shorter. The episodes have been, I feel like, a bit shorter as of late. But still good content getting packed into there. So hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're on YouTube, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole nine. If you're on Spotify, follow, leave a comment, the whole deal. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see y'all maybe on Tuesday if there's a new episode. Putting out this disclaimer right now. There will only be a news episode if there's actual news to discuss. Didn't do one last week because there was nothing to discuss. But I will either see you on Tuesday or again next Friday. So until then, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekends. Enjoy your weeks. And I will see you later.